Good evening, everybody in the crypto world. It is 11:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12/18/2019. Big day today, very big day today. The market surged. If you didn't know it, it's gone up. But most of you do. So it's nice to see it pop right back up again. So basically in the last week I showed in my Telegram group about how the George effect for George Sebastião being added to the Apollo team. His association with Huawei and still employed by Huawei and signed on as an advisor with the Apollo team for blockchain security. He has been around for a long time. Got a video I'm going to show you here. I'm not going to play it, but I'll link it. That shows you back 7 years ago, traveling around and doing his speaking. And then, of course, ever since then, been doing it. So anyway, with this George effect, you see the volume went up about 800 through, basically like 1.4, I'd say about 1.2 million adjustment up with his announcement. And that is something that's just going to be the forebearer of what's coming. Because there is so much coming. And I do mean so much coming. In the next 45 days. And of course, it's going to go beyond that. But in the next 45, there's so much coming. You've got the DEX being finished up. You got the CEX. With the ties to Africa for fiat and the world, but mainly to really benefit the African people right off the bat to be able to buy Apollo with their African currencies. You've got the rebranding coming out for Apollo, the new website coming out for Apollo. You got more announcements coming out for Apollo Africa, like this Lesotho agreement that they have, along with their visit to Egypt and a follow-up meeting coming up. That should be happening sometime in January, the first week, second week of January, we hope. Crank out the Middle East. They have getting interest from Asia. So this is a long list. I just touched on the surface. You also have sub-second speed being finished up and coming. You have the institutions, I should say the arrangements going on with the Lesotho government to get everything deployed for the different programs. And this is the future. I'm going to play it one more time for new viewers, because I'm getting a lot of new subscribers. And with this is what the future is with Apollo.
Of understanding has been established between Apollo and the Lesotho government to begin the design and development of solutions for a number of government systems and initiatives. This MOU is a historic achievement for the advancement of blockchain technology, making Apollo one of the first cryptocurrencies to achieve an MOU of this level with the government of a nation. Additionally, Apollo will be setting up exchanges and physical headquarters within the nation of Lesotho. These solutions can then be implemented into any nation, with Lesotho well established as a launchpad for the rest of Africa.
Apollonauts, are you ready?
Big news, no doubt about that. You got the market currently at 187 billion. You've got 27.5 for the daily. That is up. Oh God, that's up about 13 billion with this surge. So you've got 7163 for Bitcoin, ETH 128. XRP is back up at 18 cents. It was 19, but down just a little bit in the last hour. BTC up 6.61% for the last 24 hours. 3.3 for ETH, 1.51 for XRP. APL averaging around 9 to 10% up for the last 24. Now, breaking as Bitcoin reclaims 7,000, back volume explodes to new highs. And that happened. And more, 2020 is going to be huge. But that is just the best way to put it. 2020 is going to be huge for Apollo. 2020 is going to be huge for the crypto world. You're going to see a lot of the crap coins go bye-bye. You're going to see Bitcoin do really well. You're going to see so much going on for blockchain. And then, of course, taxation too. TurboTax for crypto accounting firm WIKI. They built a tax tool for retail investors. So retail investors are getting that help. Retail investors, accredited investors, are also getting help from the SEC coming up. They look to expand the accredited investor classification, and that is something that's being worked on to enhance that. Australia probes Big Four bank accused of 23 million money laundering breaches. So this one here, Westpac, one of the country's largest banks, is now under investigation for millions of purported violations of the nation's AML regulations. Now, I'm not going to play or talk about that any further. I'm going to mention one more thing over to the right over here. Fidelity launching crypto services in Europe, citing significant interest. Go Fidelity. Right there. You've got the branches for Apollo being worked on, the most active GitHub of any coin out there, and that's because they are doing the most in crypto. When you look at the news, I just spent the last hour scoring over all the crypto websites and getting a few pieces of interest that would interest anybody, okay? When you look at what Apollo's doing, they're going to rock the news cycle because with these signings in Africa, Middle East, Asia, with the signing of George should be going around speaking for Apollo. And I wouldn't doubt they're going to have that going on. Reason why, he is such a seasoned veteran for that. And all this is working right here at DEX 2.0, the sub-second. They're working on the CEX and getting all that done. And then you've got George again. This is that article or the video I was telling you about, August 23rd, 2012, talking about the hacking and mass destruction. And there, over here to the right, 2014 evolution of cybersecurity with George. And there's a lot more videos around for him. So he has joined the pack. Let me go over here real quick. You've got George right there, advisor, blockchain security. The brains, the marketing ability right here for all this. The whole crew is good, don't get me wrong. But when you talk about Victor with the devs and for First Bridge and kicking butt on the development, then you got Steve working his magic in Africa and around, okay, and organizing most of all this stuff for Apollo, including hiring of George. So this right there is a power pack team, no doubt. This right down below is many people that help to make the things happen, and they are cooking the production. In 2020, you are going to see a massive advancement for Apollo. Why? Because they will have, and they currently do have, the fastest network in the world, 1 to 2 seconds, going to sub-second. They have the most private in the world, but with a public option. So it's not just a privacy coin. It's not even a privacy coin, really. Think about it. It's an all-in-one coin with privacy features. And with the governments, I get a lot of people that comment and just it doesn't make sense. Even though I say it in my videos, they still comment. So what it comes down to, the government use of Apollo's blockchain is not going to have all these privacy features unless the government wants to institute some of the features. It's going to be public and let me show you this. You've got in the picture, you got the DEX coming fast. Yes. Now everybody's, some people say it's already out. Well, yeah, it is. It's got ETH and Paxos in its beta form, but the full version is coming with Black Mode, BTC, and more coins. That's the bomb. CEX and DEX. Yeah, that's the bomb. Apollo's got them both coming. The CEX is going to be worldwide use too, by the way. I always talk about how it has the African tie-in for currencies, because that's a big deal. When you have all the different currencies in Africa being tied to the CEX, yeah, that's a big deal. The all-in-one over to the left over here, domination. Again, it's BTC, ETH, XRP, LTC Dash, XMR, TRX, the speed. kicking butt and even faster soon. The privacy. It's all there, folks. This is why Apollo is going to be huge. No doubt about that. And with the Lesotho MOU, it's the first of many coming. That's why the coin is going to do so great. Working in Egypt. This all-in-one, with all the features, the ADF group signed the partnership with Apollo in Africa months ago and mentioned the reason why, because of their most advanced blockchain with endless features, the obvious choice. Think about that, okay? If you're thinking about investing, this is the obvious choice for a group so well respected in Africa, dealing with the presidential and ministerial levels. Yes, they are talking to each one of those governments and endorsing Apollo and the use of Apollo's blockchain. So is Africa going to be huge for Apollo? Is Asia and in the Middle East and beyond? Yes, no doubt about that. That's why it's one of the 7 coins you need to watch in 2020. One of these videos pointed out. Watch my last one, I played it. I'll play it again soon. Sub-second speed coming really fast. The MOU and the Africa initiatives that they're doing in different countries in Africa. I'll show you that. Here was George's tweet that started the increased volume. Glad to be part of Huawei ecosystem. You betcha. And make Apollo currency a more secure with cybersecurity and trusted solution. You got to understand the reputation that he brings with him. And with that reputation, it's going to make so many people, more people love Apollo because they can trust and get into it. And that's the ticket. Trust the blockchain and what they're doing with the devs, and know that when he goes out there and speaks, people are going to listen. And that is the bomb. My promo videos, my last video and the one before that, the link, and I'll put the link again today, for you to go. They're available. There's over 100 you can download of anyone you like and use it in tweets, in Instagram, Facebook posts. Do it up. They're free to use. I call that one all right. You saw the intro piece there with the fireplace. That's available too. This is the George effect. Actually, this is a 24 hours of Apollo yesterday. I say yesterday because by the time you see this video, it will be 12/19, 12/18. This is it. So basically, the increasing from George before that, up and away. And you've got so much. Oh, I should get a mug. I got everything else, pillow and everything else. The Apollo in Egypt. That's going to be huge. A follow-up meeting coming. That's going to be huge. This year, coming up for 2020. Don't you love that? Time has come for Apollo. Plain and simple, with the all-in-one, with all the things that they're doing, and I do mean all the things they're doing. It is time for Apollo to kick butt. The government use of Apollo's blockchain in Africa, Asia, the Middle East is going to surge this coin massively in 2020, early in 2020. I'm not talking down like the end of 2020. I'm talking about a month. The next 45 days is going to be huge for Apollo. Huge. So ladies and gentlemen, any updates, I'll give them to you. Any breaking news, I will give them to you. It's going to be very exciting to watch. Every day that goes on between now and Christmas, exciting. Of course, New Year's, the bomb. January, getting into it, right? Watch out and watch what Apollo does in January.